Hello and welcome to Cover Story. It's been a politically very hectic week, what with the beginning of the budget session, a land acquisition agitation, and of course the swearing in of Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister. Yet, this is a week that also began with a very curious case of a leave application filed by the Congress Vice President. Instead of attending this parliament, making his presence felt at a land acquisition agitation which he had been spearheading, instead he chose to go on leave. And not just that, instead of being pulled up for this or pulled down as the case may be, he's actually been rewarded. What we are being told now is that Rahul is now going to be elevated to the post of a party president at the party convention that's going to be held next month. So this is what we're going to be discussing this week in Cover Story, because frankly I think this is really the most curious news of the day. The problem with Rahul Gandhi, and how is the Congress going to handle this hot potato? And to discuss this with me, I have in the studio political analyst Dheeraj Nair, Mr. Ashok Tandon, the former OSD media advisor to Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and also a political analyst. And also we have Pankaj Vora, managing editor, Sunday Guardian. We're shortly going to be joined by Neerja Chaudhary. But Mr. Tandon, I'm going to begin with you first. I mean, how do you explain this behavior of Rahul Gandhi, and do you really think this is a behavior that deserves a promotion?
See, apparently his behavior is more like a son to his mother, rather than the vice president of a party to the president of a party.
Exactly.
See, these things normally you don't see in political parties. That there is a president of the party and then there is a vice president of the party. And between the two, they are mother and the son as well. And when the son is upset with something and he wants something from his mother, and then he goes on leave. So therefore, it's a very peculiar case, and it's very unusual in politics. So I would say that Rahul is still too mature to become a politician of stature. Otherwise, he would not have been behaving like this. Okay, so where is the need to go on leave during a crucial budget session? Even if you have a problem, well, you can sort it out.
Instead of throwing a very public tantrum and going on a sulk. Dheeraj, and also you agree with me, you know, we've had a budget session also. I know you're very passionately fond of budgets. But this Rahul's behavior trumps all the news, whether it's a J&K swearing and this...
Yeah, well, Rahul Gandhi seems to make news for all the wrong reasons. That's his problem. I mean, he needs to start, if he has to have a future in politics, he needs to start making news for the right reasons. And frankly, it's, as I agree with Mr. Tandon, very odd, because so many important, as you yourself said, so many important events happening. I mean, the formation of a government in Jammu and Kashmir, land acquisition, which was one subject he claimed to have owned at one point with Bhatta Parsol.
And to be fair, it would have been his
and he's letting Anna Hazare and Kejriwal into that space as well. And then, of course, the budget, this is the first full budget of the Modi government. You should be there. I mean, as a leading opposition party, you should be there to criticize it, praise it, whatever. I mean, his face needs to be seen now, if not now, when the Modi government is under some pressure, there are criticisms, things are not reviving. Rahul Gandhi should be there in front and taking the lead. And in a way, he, as you said, takes away from all this news and becomes the news himself in a negative way. So it's a very peculiar kind of politics, because politicians like to be in the news, sure, but for the right reasons. And this man seems to trump everything else and take over the news for the wrong reasons.
Pankaj, you agree with me. Rahul likes to be in the news, but for all the wrong reasons, really. And also, you know, another point, Pankaj, is that, you know, you look at Sonia Gandhi. When she joined politics, she joined in the opposition. She was a leader of opposition, and she really earned her spurs as a leader at that point. It is also easier to earn your spurs as an opposition leader than to govern and be in the government. Why is Rahul missing this golden opportunity, and why should he be elevated?
Well, there are two or three things. First of all, you know, Sonia Gandhi, in exactly 2 weeks' time,
it is also easier to earn your spurs as an opposition leader than to govern and be in the government. Why is Rahul missing this golden opportunity, and why should he be elevated?
Well, there are two or three things. First of all, you know, Sonia Gandhi, in exactly 2 weeks' time, will be completing 17 years as the president of the Congress party.
Exactly.
Number two, you know, the Congress has been going through, suffering strings of defeats, one after the other, and is in a very, very bad shape. And, there's no way it can be revived unless something, very, very innovative is done. Number three, you know, Rahul Gandhi decision to go away when the budget session is taking place is being seen as a big, a kind of a dereliction of duty by analysts and by critics. And, all these things, but, Rahul Gandhi has to somewhere prioritize things in the sense that, everyone knows that he is going to be the next president of the Congress party. He's been the president in waiting for quite a few years now. But, when will that take place? Now, problem with Rahul is whether to set his party right first or whether to lock horns with the opposition, which is the ruling party now, which has number-wise is very well placed. And within the Congress party, there's a coterie around Sonia Gandhi, which is not allowing Rahul to function at all.
Yeah, this is the one. I'll just come into this. I want to ask Pankaj 1 second. I want to bring Dheeraj in this also. The problem with Rahul, Dheeraj, we worked together in a magazine earlier. We've discussed this problem with Rahul. We came up with very catchy headlines: "Air not apparent," "Wake up Rahul," "Missing Rahul." But the problem with Rahul is what? Is it the old guard, as Pankaj just said?
No, I think the problem with Rahul is Rahul himself. I mean, because
not the old guard, new guard.
I mean, if Rahul Gandhi has now been fronting the Congress campaigns in various states, including the general election, it's not that Sonia Gandhi's been president, sure, but he's been fronting the campaign and he's had nothing to show for it. So if he had success to show for it, if he had even won one or two elections and he had a respectable showing in the Lok Sabha despite the baggage of Manmohan Singh's government, then there would be less resistance. The resistance is there because, as you said, he's not done nothing to deserve the promotion. I mean, you or I or anybody else working in an organization would not get a promotion based on performance which completely shows nothing positive. So I think Rahul Gandhi's problem is himself. The others are naturally, and then he goes off on leave like this. So obviously there will be voices of opposition from within the Congress. Because remember, even whatever you say about the old guard of the Congress, so-called old guard, and the old style politicians, they are 24/7 politicians, all of them. I mean, you can criticize them for being inefficient or corrupt or having let go of the previous government, but they do put their heart and mind into politics, and Rahul Gandhi clearly doesn't. So they will resent someone who doesn't put his full 24/7 effort into politics, suddenly coming in and becoming president. So I'm not surprised at the reaction, and Rahul Gandhi needs to work much harder and show results. So even if he becomes president, I suspect he'll still have a legitimacy problem until he can show results. Sonia Gandhi, after all, she may have been president for 17 years, but she presided over winning 2 general elections and several state elections. So she had something to show. So Rahul's going to have to very quickly start showing something.
The problem with Rahul, as Dheeraj says, is that he is Rahul, and the problem is with himself, unlike Sonia. And Sonia has a bigger acceptability amongst Congress leaders. Are they willing to let her go?
See, isn't it strange that the case being made out by Rahul's camp is that he has not been given a free hand.
Correct.
And therefore he is sulking. Therefore you must give him a free hand so that he can perform. So if it is a case of generational change, so I am all for it. Let there be a generational change in the Congress and let the new leadership come up. Let Rahul have his own team and they want to perform, all right, there is nothing wrong. But in the last couple of years, Rahul literally has been given a free hand to campaign. He has been given a free hand to launch agitation.
And to tear up ordinances.
Yeah, and where was any restrictions imposed on him by the so-called old guards? So having got a free hand, maybe under a wise umbrella of a senior Congress leader, but unfortunately he could not perform. So therefore, on one hand, he failed to perform, and on the other hand, he is sulking because he has not been given a free hand. It looks very strange. So
Pankaj, can you explain this very strange behavior and explain the mystery? Do you also feel that Rahul has been allowed to perform? Why is he saying he's not been allowed?
The thing is that if you follow Congress politics very carefully, you will realize that the old guard and the coterie or the syndicate, as it is being now referred to, has a stranglehold over the party. They are the ones who call the shots. They have developed vested interest. In the last 17 years, nobody had any objections when Sonia Gandhi was continuing as the Congress president one term after the other. But a lot of people have a lot of issues with people who are surrounding her. Sonia Gandhi is essentially a status quoist. She never, likes to make changes. So in the last 17 years, she has continued with the same set of advisors who were with her in 98 when she was appointed as the president of the party. These advisors have developed vested interests. They are the ones who, will never allow or keep on tripping Rahul at every juncture. I'm not saying that Rahul is the most innovative and the brightest politician going around. But the thing is that he is being tripped within the Congress because people who are controlling power within the Congress do not want the emergence of another power center, which, comes with, if Rahul comes over.
But
Rahul
Pankaj,
represents
take a look
change
at
in
the people
party.
around
The
Rahul.
party
They're
has-
also
party
rootless.
has-
He has a group of professionals who are not part of the party setup. They're equally rootless and with equally vested interests. So are we going to support, replace one set of rootless wonders with another?
No. It is not like this. The thing is that the present lot has to go if the change has to be brought about. Within the BJP, if you look at it, when Mr. Narendra Modi took a charge, he has made sure that people who were in power earlier were either made members of the Margdarshak Mandal or are nowhere in the decision-making process. They are far removed from the actual way the BJP is functioning today. Similarly, within the Congress, you have to ensure that the old guard, are sidelined and new people, whoever they are, they have to
Are
be given a
given
chance
prominence.
to change.
Dheeraj,
If
should
they
there be a
continue with the old
Margdarshak
guard,
Mandal for the Janardhan Dwivedi, for Ahmed Patel, for, I don't know, all the old guards?
Well, they probably should be, and I would rather hope Rahul joins it as well. I think that Congress, if they can't do without the Gandhis, it would be nice to put them into some kind of honorary positions and, get someone else who can run the party, who has the stomach to fight politics out. It's tough, and politics is tough. Nobody's saying it's easy. Even Mr. Narendra Modi had it very tough. But still, that's probably taking it too far. But realistically now, perhaps it is time that Rahul Gandhi, the excuses are taken away from him. So the last excuse that he has for his failure right now is that he is not in charge of this party. I think that last excuse will go the moment he is made president. He cannot blame his mother or the old guard. So let him, that's the final throw of the dice for Rahul Gandhi really. If he's president, let's see what he can do. So I think in a way it's logical. No point him hiding behind the scenes any longer and giving excuses to the country and to his party. Let him come up front and let's see what he can do. I don't have much hope from him being able to present, as Mr. Vora said, he's not the most naturally innovative politician anyway, but I think let him come up front if that's the way the Congress wants. Shorn him of his excuses.
Mr. Tandon, do you think this is correct? Let Rahul be given a chance for once and for all. Let's be done with this big enigma.
See, I was listening to Pankaj, so the way he was discussing Congress politics, as if one thing is clear, and it is clear once and for all, that the new leadership of the Congress has to come from the family. So within the family, the fight is between the mother continuing or the son taking over. No, for a party which is more than 100 years old, which is a history of freedom struggle, isn't it ironic that the country has a main opposition today, which has ruled the country for many years, as a limited choice for leadership? So you have to choose only either continue with the mother or install the son. So this itself is a strange phenomenon, but I am surprised that there are no voices within the Congress. Why not throw it open? Let the leadership emerge. Now, Pankaj was discussing, comparing it with Narendra Modi's emergence. No, Narendra Modi is not a son of either Atal Bihari Vajpayee or Lal Krishna
But what
Advani.
he's also saying is that Narendra Modi has kept the old guard aside and got his own team.
Agreed,
new
agreed,
people.
Priya. You have new leadership. You give a chance to younger generation. But why not throw it open to other leaders in the Congress? There is Jyotiraditya Scindia, who is much younger in politics, and there are so many others.
Sachin Pilot, yeah.
But the fact remains that within the Congress, the debate has narrowed down only to one point, that whether you want Rahul to take over or mother to continue. No, this looks like Rahul wants to stage a palace coup in the family and throw the mother out and take over, otherwise he goes on leave.
Neeja, we just joined by Neeja, who I think was delayed by the Delhi weather and the Delhi traffic. But Neeja, this doesn't look very good for Rahul, is it? This sudden leave of absence, and instead of being pulled down, he's being pulled up. He's being made party president, as we are hearing.
Yeah, that looks like it. And even the change, there are not, one can't think of decisions in recent couple of years. Ever since the Jaipur session in 2013, January, when he took over as vice president,
Right.
when he's not had a major say in decisions in the party. And Sonia Gandhi would refer things to him. So to say the way Mr. Kamal Nath has put the question that either this or that,
Right.
does that mean a political party is not to have a vice? And Sonia Gandhi would refer things to him. So to say the way Mr. Kamal Nath has put the question that either this or that,
Right.
does that mean a political party is not to have a vice president? Can a president not work with a vice president? And in this case, it's in the family. They can talk in the home
Yeah.
and sort things out. So why is that becoming so difficult? I think those are false issues. it has been said, I think, or your strap says it, that will Rahul lead from the front? Somehow he's diffident. We've seen him in Parliament for the last 10 years. Any other person, given that kind of exposure, opportunity, would have chosen to speak on a whole host of issues, international, national. But Rahul, we heard speak only 2 or 3 times.
Right.
You look at, I say often, you look at the new spokespersons of the Congress party, look at the new spokespersons of the BJP, of Aam Aadmi party, younger people who are fighting back, who are chiseling their arguments, who are learning by the hour. And yet, why should this not happen to Rahul Gandhi?
Dheeraj, you want to comment?
No, I just want to
I would make the point, I'll just conclude by saying this, that is it because he's had the luxury of, choosing his time? He can do it if he wants. He doesn't need to do it if it wants. He can go on, meditation or take his time off and,
Go camping.
campaign if he wants, not campaign if he wants. Well, if he wants to lead the party, if he now is going to be the Congress president, then there has to be some accountability, and that is not only an affair of the Congress party. It concerns you, it concerns me, it concerns him, because it concerns the kind of opposition we are going to have in a democratic
Okay,
country.
Dheeraj, I'm going to come back to you, but just before that, we need to take a short break. But keep watching, because we're going to continue this discussion, and we're going to ask Dheeraj what he wants to say. Hello and welcome back. Like before the break, we were discussing the problem with Rahul Gandhi. Why is he missing, and why is he being rewarded for his missing? It's not really where he is, but where he's not. And why is, he's this behavior getting a promotion? Dheeraj, you wanted to comment?
No, just before the break, Neeraj mentioned Rahul Gandhi and Aam Aadmi Party. I was just thinking, if you actually look back to February 2014, or March 2014, when Arvind Kejriwal left the Delhi government, he was actually in a pretty discredited state, probably as big as dumps as Rahul Gandhi is in. And he worked hard, day after day, to renew himself, to reinvent himself, and came back so strongly against the BJP. So, I mean, if somebody has got that fire in them and they want to fight back, then they don't take defeat lying down. And Rahul Gandhi's problem is because he's entitled, because nobody can fire him, because he will still be there. I mean, Kejriwal would have been finished if he hadn't come back in this Delhi election, and he knew that. So I think that fire and that absence of fire in Rahul Gandhi's belly is a serious problem. And I don't see how becoming president, just merely becoming president, will ignite that fire. I don't see how, if it didn't ignite as vice president with his mother as president, what is so special about the president's office so I'm still concerned at how he's going to discover that inner strength and inner excitement about politics. He doesn't seem to have it right now.
We're going to ask Pankaj, who I think, Pankaj, you have the softest spot for Rahul amongst our panelists. Do you think he has it in him to make a comeback the way, Dheeraj made a good example of Arvind Kejriwal? Can he do what Kejriwal did?
Look, anyone can do anything. I mean, you have to have
Can Rahul do something?
Fire in your belly. Rahul can also do it. The thing is that, as Neerja was saying, that Rahul has been part of every decision making so far. But when implementation comes, it is the coterie, it is the syndicate. If Rahul, there are certain things which are given in the Congress, that if Sonia Gandhi has to be replaced, she will be replaced by Rahul Gandhi. The Congress under Sonia Gandhi is going nowhere. And, this old Amar Akbar Antony, thesis continues to, prevail within the Congress. If things have to change, you have to have Rahul. Whether he succeeds or not, only time will tell. But at least there will be a change. The status quo will be broken. The rejig will take within the Congress. New people will come up. Whether they perform, if they perform, it will be to the credit of the party. If they don't perform, the party will further perish. I mean, under Sonia Gandhi's leadership, the Congress has got 44 seats now.
Under Rahul Gandhi's leadership or Sonia Gandhi's leadership?
It was Sonia Gandhi's leadership. Everything was done under Sonia Gandhi's leadership. The tickets were distributed. Rahul Gandhi may have had some say somewhere, but the campaign strategy was devised by people who were close to Sonia Gandhi. They were the ones who were, throwing their spanner in works at places and also, contributing to this tirade against Rahul Gandhi.
Okay,
Another
once
thing which I like to clarify is that I have no soft corner for Rahul Gandhi, but I have no soft corner for Rahul Gandhi. I just want to make it clear that the only way the Congress can go forward is if a change is brought about. And at this moment, the change is represented by Rahul Gandhi, and whether this will take place in the plenary which is held in Bangalore or in Simla, I mean, the venue has not been finalized. In the month of April, We have to wait and see.
Okay, Mr. Tandon, would you agree with Pankaj that this was Sonia's defeat and not Rahul's?
No, it's very interesting to learn from Pankaj that within the Congress, all the decision making was done by the Sonia camp, and poor Rahul was not given a chance to implement or take decision. This sounds very strange.
No, I didn't say that. I said Rahul may have been part of the decision.
Yeah, but he was not allowed to implement things.
Sonia's men.
Yeah, Pankaj, you are saying that Rahul was not allowed to implement things. No, don't you see? Apparently, there seems to be an attempt to put the entire blame for the defeat on Sonia Gandhi, not on Rahul Gandhi, and so that she leaves the presidentship with the blame of putting the Congress in the present shape and let the new leadership come up. Whereas the public perception is that Rahul has failed to deliver, whether it was Delhi or the earlier election. So it's a very new thing to know that all the blame is being now sought to put on Sonia rather than Rahul Gandhi.
Neerja, would you come in on this?
I would like to say, if you look at Rahul, his heart is in the right place. If you look at the ideology of the Congress, traditionally what the party has stood for, he's pro-Dalit, he's pro-tribal, he's pro the poor, he's pro-women, he's pro-minorities, and the left-of-center ideology of the Congress party. He really well and truly stands for it, and he means well sincerely.
Fair enough.
He's also wanted to cut out the flab. He's wanted to bring in new people. He's wanted democracy within the party. He's wanted to do new things. It's quite possible that the old guard didn't allow him to do several things. The trouble is that despite being in a position, the kind of position that he enjoys today, being Sonia Gandhi's son, vice president of the party, about to become the president of the party, why is he not able to have an impact? That is a central question to which we have no answer.
Dheeraj, can you...
Well, I think we have the answer that, he's just not a good enough politician. There's certain things expected of a leader, and
that is a central question to which we have no answer.
Dheeraj, can you...
Well, I think we have the answer that, he's just not a good enough politician. There's certain things expected of a leader, and within the BJP as well, you see, there were certain people who worked out and certain people who didn't work out. Mr. Modi was successful, Mr. Advani didn't. So people expect certain thing in a leader of a party or in a prime ministerial candidate. They don't see it in Rahul Gandhi, which is why it doesn't work out. So he may have all the best intentions in the world. You and I may have all the best intentions in the world, but that doesn't mean the country wants to make us prime minister, right? So it's just not enough. He has that famous surname which others don't, but he needs to, you have to go beyond heart in the right place. Rahul Gandhi thinks that just because he is who he is and he stands for certain things, maybe what Indira Gandhi stood for, that all the Dalits and minorities and poor will vote for him. They don't. This time you see they all voted for Modi or voted for somebody else or voted for Aam Aadmi Party. They have alternatives, right? So people choose between alternatives, and there's nothing obvious now about the Congress being the alternative that people want. Even those who are anti-BJP, they will look for other options. So he doesn't have it.
Okay, sorry, we're going to end now. Unfortunately, no, we have to take a break. So, sorry, we have to end the show. I think half an hour is not enough to discuss this mammoth problem of Rahul Gandhi.
Instance.
But we are going to give him a bit of a chance. Is that right?
No, I just wanted to tell you an instance when Congress lost badly in 1977. Indira Gandhi, instead of elevating Sanjay Gandhi, had appointed Bahuguna, Hemwati Bahuguna, as Secretary General of the party. First time in the history of Congress, a Secretary General was appointed to revamp the party, not a member of the family itself.
Okay, so maybe should Sonia Gandhi take a leaf out of her mother-in-law's book? But from what we are hearing, she's not going to do that. She's going to go ahead with Rahul Gandhi. And what that means to the Congress is going to be the subject for many more debates. But from us, that's all for now. Thank you for watching this edition of Cover Story.